Yes, I'll give some brief introduction about me. This is Charishma. I have a total 5 years experience. I am from Java background. I have been working as a freelancer for Mule from past 3 years. And coming to the sessions, the sessions will take 30 working hours from my side. 30 working hours, daily 1 hour, 30 working hours. So daily recording will be given, will be uploaded in the same link. Means first day if the session has been completed, the recording will be shared with you with the particular link. The next day also the recorded will be uploaded with the same link, so that if you refresh and you can use that. And depends on your capacity, capability and understanding, you need to spend time. And how to practice and what to practice, I'll take care. And I'll be using this drawing board. Apart from the exception handling the topic, I'm not using any PPTs. Means it is scientifically proven that instead of the PPTs, what I speak and what I explain by drawing the pictures will have more reach to the people, I guess. Right? In the demo, what we are going to discuss is this demo session, how you will get the hands-on experience. What are the documents I'm going to share with you, and the use case. Here I know the people are from different background, right, and different domains, and the people from zero IT background also, right. To make sure that everyone understand what is the MuleSoft, I have taken a simple use case. So once you are done with the use case, you understand, you will be in a position that you understand what is the Mule as a developer, what is your role. And the demo session will be little lengthy, and you need to take a call, right, whether to join or not. See, so please bear for that. Once the use case is done, and we are going to see what are the topics we are going to cover, topics we are going to cover in our training program. So Mule is a vast subject. It have more than 300 plus modules. We are trying to give what we are trying to do is we are trying to give you a platform in order to make you work in the MuleSoft. So if you know the concepts what I am teaching, so definitely when you are in a project, if you import or deploy any project, you will be in a position to read the original documentation of the MuleSoft. Next, prerequisites and system requirements. These are all normal, general one. Usually everyone will be aware of. Don't worry about this. And we're going to discuss about the MuleSoft, right? So what is the MuleSoft? What is the MuleSoft 4.x? What is the MuleSoft? Anyone can tell? Our sessions will be interactive. It will be one-to-one sessions, and I'll be keep on asking the questions in the sessions also, so that I'll be understanding about your pace. I'll understand that you're following or not. So, what is the MuleSoft? Anyone? What is the MuleSoft and what is the Mule? Anyone can answer.
Yeah, it's the integration between Salesforce applications and between Salesforce and different applications.
MuleSoft is a company, is an organization uh, which is acquired by the Salesforce in the year 2018. The Zone. Mule is an integration tool. Mule is an integration tool. It's a runtime engine, and MuleSoft is an organization. And we are going to discuss about this MuleSoft 4.x means this is the major version change. This is the minor version change. And anyone know aware of this? What is the latest version of the Mule? Latest version Mule 4.4. This is what we are going to learn in our training program. If you are learning the Mule for the first time, you can directly learn Mule 4. There is a lot of change between the Mule 3 and Mule 4. Lot of vast difference. Please treat this as a fresh tool you are going to learn. Don't compare with the any integration tool, by because of your learning freshly, right? So if you are learning freshly, if you learn as an empty cup, it will be very good for you. And if you compare in early stages, you will be stuck up there only. So please, my sincere request for you, please don't try to compare with any other integration tool, and please learn each other freshly. So, and after that this training program, you will be in a position to clear this MCD level 1 certification. So MCD level 1 certification means MCD is MuleSoft certified developer. Level 1 is a, there is no level 2, it's the name as given like this. So for the developer level, we have the certification. uh, Means it is, nowadays it is very important to clear certification, right, in order to get through the interviews, which is added advantage to the resume for the domain change, right? So I can give you 100% guarantee on this training program, you will be in a position to clear this certification. Means, how can I say, means concept what we are discussing and the assignments what I am giving, and the subject and how you are practicing, everything depends. So that I can you say you that after this course, you are confidently you can clear this MCD level 1 certification. If you have any questions, please note down. At the end of the session, we will be having question and answer session also will be there. If you have any questions, please note down. So our training program will be 80% practical and 20% theoretical. So it is 80 is 20 ratio. Uh, I'll show the previous sessions pictures. Everything whatever I explain, I'll be explaining by drawing the pictures. So what is a web service, what is a loosely coupled, what is logically coupled, what is an ESB, and this is how our first hello world program is written here. So by a completion of this end of this all these slides, you will be in a position to understand what is the MuleSoft. So two sessions will be theoretical. First two sessions will be theoretical, and next we are going to start this hello world program in the Mule application. So why we are starting with the hello world program only initially? You have any idea, guys? Why only a hello world program? Why not? Why can't we take complex? In the initial stages, you need to understand when the client send the request. So how Mule application is working behind the scenes, that is definitely important, right? So once this program is done, assume that you have program is done, you need to practice, right? How will you practice? So for the practice, I am sharing huge set of the documents and resources. If you see able to see my screen, in this folder, we have a two zip files. If I unzip them, I'll get two folders. These are one software folder. These are the softwares what we use in our training program, and the lab documents. So these two folders will be shared in the first instance itself. So when you enroll in the training program, once your coordinator confirm that you are enrolled, and I'll be sharing this documents, these two folders, these documents with you at a time. So you can download this and you can keep it them ready. So I'll tell you what to practice and when to practice. So when you come to these documents here, for each and every topic I have given the document here. Whose set of the documents I have given here. Means when you come to these documents here, you already completed, you will be completed the session. So once we open the document, you will be in a position to read the document. Means once you read the document, you will understand the concept. So you will you will practice according to the document. You treat that as a requirement and you will practice. So come to the ramel part. Ramel part is very important. Come to the ramel part. So here I have given everything in the step by step process. I used simple English and terminologies wherever necessary. Everything is crystal clearly designed here to understand easily. So any person that is from non-IT background also can understand easily. The course is designed such way. Here if you observe here, you have some code also, code snippets also is there, right? So that you will be understand why whenever you are practicing, if you got stuck up anywhere, if you open the document, you will easily understand. what your where you got stuck up, everything you will be easily understand, and you will be, it will helpful for you to get through easily. And once you are have the documents, you have the requirement, you need some platform to practice, right? So we have Anypoint Studio to practice, Anypoint Studio to create the Mule application. This is the Anypoint Studio. Usually I will not show all this, but I want to give you a glance. What is the Anypoint Studio? This Anypoint Studio, everything is a drag connectors here. We need to drag and drop onto this, and particular code will be generated here in the configuration XML. Behind the scenes, the configuration XML, particular code of the regarding this particular connector, the code will be generated here. So you can create your own projects, or you can import the predefined projects which I have given you. Predefined projects here. In this folder, in the documents folder, we have one another workspace folder, right? In this we can I have given the huge set of projects here. For every topic I have given the start and solution. I follow start and solution approach. So you open the document which I have provided you here. You open the particular document and read the document as a requirement. Read the document as a requirement and import the start project. Import the start project to practice project and refer. So I recommend you not to open solution project unless it is important. Means unless you are running out of an options, you don't my sincere request for you not to open this solution. But because of I am giving daily basis the recordings, and you have a documents all, so please utilize this. So finally, if you are not able to follow, then open the solution project. So still you are not able to crack, so you can take the screenshot. I will be giving my mail ID, so that you can send the screenshot of your query, and you can discuss. Means you will send the mail. If I in any case if I didn't respond for the mail, next day session we can discuss, we'll discuss about the issue what you got. So finally, whatever the question you have, that question will not be left like without answering. Your question will be answered finally. So at the end of the training program, we'll be creating one banking application. So with teaching all these topics, this is how you get the hands-on experience. With all this, you will get the hands-on experience. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions from your side? Am I audible?
Yes.
Am I audible? Yes. So I have seen hands-on experience and documents. How you will get the hands-on experience with the documents what I have provided. So we'll see the use case. Use case. Everyone from India, right? So I hope everyone from the India. So we have one web application. We have one web application in India. That this web application is Abibus. This is assume that this is the Abibus. So we use Abibus to book the bus ticket, right? So here Abibus is a client. So his requirement, he wants to develop a web application where whenever the user walk-ins and click from and to and click the search button, what the request should go to, the request should go to third party applications. Name some any third party. This is a bus, right? This is the web application is a bus, right? So it will go, the request will should go to the travels. Name some travels. Two travels. Any two travels. Name any two travels. Any two travels. Our session should be interactive, so that I can know
Correct.
whether you are following or not, right? Ah, you're
RTC.
telling something? Yes, you think RTC and one of the travels. RTC will not give, I guess. Okay, fine. You tell me. And one another.
SRS.
Huh? Yes. That is right. Is that two? the two third party applications, right? Whenever the client give the click button, the request should go to the two applications, two web applications concurrently. What is my first one? Concurrently. So he want to fetch the details. So request should go concurrently, and he want to fetch the details also. The details also he want to fetch in their format. So what is in the JSON format, and this is in the, assume that is in the Java format, right? So what is the second requirement is, he want to concatenate the details from both the web services. So both the web applications. So you want to concatenate. You want to concatenate and display in its own format. Finally, it is in JSON and it is in Java. Finally, he want to display on his website, on his web page as in JSON format. Right? Now, who will send the request? Who will concatenate? Who changes the format? Who will do all these things? Let's take a middleware. Let's take a middleware. So where this middleware is connected to the Abibus. So what this middleware will do? It will take the request from the Abibus. Will take the request from the Abibus and send to the multiple by a component called router. I call this component as a router. So in at home also there will be Wi-Fi router, right? So like same like this router also works, where it take the Ethernet signal from outside and scatter to all the electronic devices, right? So in the same way, it takes the copy of the request and send to the two applications, and it will send to the two applications. It will send to the two applications. Then what it will do, so this configuration will do in the router. So it takes a copy of the request and send to the two applications. That configuration we will do in the router. So the first requirement is to send the request concurrently is done, right? So once we send the request, then they execute it and they have given the response back to the router, right? Now finally I have here two responses to the router. At the router we have two responses, right? The second requirement is to concatenate, right? Concatenate these two responses, and the third requirement is to display in his own format, in the client format, right? Again here I am taking one more component that takes two outputs as an input, that takes two outputs as an input. Sorry, these two will take an input, these two outputs as an input and concatenate together, and this component is responsible to print the concatenate data in JSON format. We call this as a transformer. We call this as transformer. It will concatenate the two outputs as a single and it will print into the JSON format. So this is a transformer. This is very important component in all the time integration, right? Where transformers converts one format to another, where we can use mapping logic. In Mule, we use data weave language in order to use transformations. Don't worry about this complex terminologies I am using. Try to understand. It's a middleware. This is a middleware. Uh, where it will receive the request from the client and it will communicate with the third party applications according to the requirement. I call this as a mule application, because what it is doing, it is integrating the two applications and transferring the data from one location to other location, right? So as a mule developer, what is this mule application is doing, trying to do here, it is taking the request from the client application and sending to the third party application, and it gets the response and that is given back to the client and in his own format. Finally the body is given to the client. Now finally the body is given to the client. Here the mule application is acting as a mediator between the two applications. We can call like exchanging between the two applications, transferring the data between the two applications. We can use any terminology here. How to transfer, how to change the format, everything you learn in the sessions. So as a Mule developer, what you're trying to do here, you're creating one service. So creating one service where it will interact with two applications. Now the final body is given to the client, and it is displayed on his web page in his own format. So that is what happened whenever you are searching for the bus. Whenever you are searching for the bus in the Abi bus, assume that in the Abi bus, whenever you are searching, you are given you are searching. You click search button. The request will go to all the travels, right? The request went to all the travels. To those travels, it will fetches the all the details of different travels, right? In different format basically. In between this integrated platform, integrated all the bus related details in the client Abibus format. You are thinking this intracity smart bus is giving this Abib is same, means the intracity smart bus format is same as Abibus format. No, what is happening internally? It is converting. The format is converting. It is changing to the Abibus format. Okay, so this is what happened behind the scenes. This is all about the use case. Hope you understand, right? Any questions here? Any questions? Understand the use case? What this use case is telling?
So the middleware that you are saying here is nothing but Mule application?
Mule app.
Is the
Yes, it's a Mule application. I call this is a Mule application. Why? Because
okay?
of it is integrating the two applications, right? It is integrating, right? So that is why we'll call this as a Mule application. What this Mule application is doing, it is taking the data from one place to other place, right? It is taking the request and it is giving it is sending to the third party applications, and it is the getting collecting the response and is giving back to the client, right? Got it? Got it? Understand? I'm
Yes.
asking you only, guys. Yes. Any
Yeah,
queries related to this? Yes.
yeah, we understood it, but we need mostly about that MuleSoft architecture and what are the tools
This
inside
is
it.
a this is a developer level. This is a developer level course actually. This is development of developer, certified developer, not
Yeah.
architect course.
No, no, no,
You
not architect.
you're
At least
asking
we
that
need.
you're
Yeah,
asking
yeah,
about the topics what we are going to discuss, huh?
yeah. What are the topics we are going to
Yeah, yeah,
discuss, and what is the MuleSoft, how it works, and what are the tools we are going to use it.
yeah. I'll be telling that. The next that one only. We have completed the use case, right?
Yeah.
So I have seen the hands-on how you will get the hands-on experience. What are the documents I'm going to share and the use case. We have seen now the topics. Coming to the topics, what we are going to discuss, I'll summarize the topics, what we are going to discuss in our sessions. So here topics are I'll summarize. I'll not go into deep about this, but I'll let you know what we are going to discuss in the sessions. So problems of point to point integrations, what are the point to point integration, what are the problems we have, and what is the solution for this, what the ESB is the solution for that, what is an ESB, and what is the important topic orchestration, and what is a mule, and any point platform account is very important. So in the any point platform or in any point platform architecture is very much important in that. So we're going to discuss about in this first topic that about all these things, and this one, and here we are second, this takes this first topic will take two sessions. So first you understand about this, then we'll go to the mule basics, means about the mule, what is the mule, what is the mule flow, how the mule message is converted into mule event, and how the event is propagated between the processors and the response is given back to the client, and what are the transformer and how we are going to use that, and introduction to the any point studio. I have shown you the any point studio, right? So detailed introduction about the Anypoint Studio, and how can you import the project, how can you create the new projects, and how can you debug the any flow, and a structure of the mule event in details. What are the different parts in this mule event? And we're going to write the simple basic data weave expression here. And you can treat this third session as the heart of this your training program. If you are able to understand this third session, and you're almost done with the MuleSoft. Means any complex scenarios will follow the same logic, right? So it's a very important. So if you see wherever lab there is a lab, please understand that there is a document file over there. So if there is a lab, so we have a document file for the mule basics. So here you can open this, and you means if once you understand this hello world, you're one by one you're slowly introduced to modules. So you need to practice by watching this document. You can practice the lab. Sorry. Here in the third session only, we will be seeing what is the hello world program, how to create the first mule application you are going to create. And once you are done with this, the second module is the second module. This one is a Java module. Means you are one by one you are introduced the modules, that is Java module. So please don't get panic about this. If you are not from the Java background, and you no need to panic, we are not going to write develop any class over there. If you have a basic understanding about the class, it's enough. And what are the if you have an idea about what are the methods in it, how to invoke the methods, if you have the basic understanding, it will be fine. And if before the session day, I will be asking you to go through the basics about that. So don't panic about that. And first we will see how can we invoke the methods from the Java. Next, we will see how can we invoke the methods from the Mule application in the Java module. So till the Java module, you might be developed in your own projects, right? You will be deployed in on-premises servers, that is development environment. So same application, if you want to deploy in production servers, so what are the deployment strategies? We have on-premises and hybrid mode of deployment, and we're going to see these different type of deployment strategies. So everything I'll be explaining by drawing the pictures. If you don't get panic, if you don't understand the terminology also, don't worry now. So everything I'll make you understand the step by step process. I'll be drawing the pictures, I'll make you understand, right? Next, the types of integration. So in the use case, you can see this bus services right? These are all the web services. These can be either SOAP API or SOAP web service, or REST API. REST web services means anyhow it's an API, SOAP API or REST API. Okay, so we'll see how can we consume third party SOAP APIs, SOAP API, SOAP web service, or REST web service. We are going to see in next sessions. Means in the SOAP API, we are going to introduce one of the routing concept, that is choice router. You are going to see the choice router in the web services with different connectors. For SOAP web service, in order to consume the SOAP web services, we use consume connector, web service consume connector, and for RESTful web service, we can use request connector. We will see in the sessions how can we use all these connectors detailed way. In one more type of integration, that is file integration. So how to read a file, how to write a file, how to delete, all these operations are present inside it. So important is on you or updated connector is very important. So it will trigger a flow whenever a new file is added to the directory. How it triggers the flow, we're going to see detailedly. How can we schedule it? And multiple strategies were there, and we have a lab for the file endpoint. And we have a watermarking and object stores. Watermarking means what? Store the previous state of the application. The object stores, I don't want to discuss more than about this watermarking and object stores, and don't want to get confused you. We'll see this on the sessions the detailed way. And one more type of integration, that is third party database, that is Salesforce. It can be MySQL or Oracle, anything it can be. In that we'll see how to establish connection first. Once we establish the connection, how can we migrate between the environments, how can we uh, secure the properties, everything we are going to see in the database endpoint database module we are going to see. And we have a three labs over here in the database module. The database endpoint we have three labs. That is one we will see the lab, how can we use select operation, then we can see how can we migrate between the environments, and other one we can see how can we secure the properties, explicit properties, how can we secure them, we are going to see in the database module. And coming to this domains, means Mule is totally about configurations, right? So any functional programming or any programmer, programming developer, anyone, if you have a redundant code, if you have a repeated code, what's an idea you'll get first? You'll get, means what we'll think if anything is repeatedly there, we'll think we'll write once and we'll reuse, right? So Mule is all about the connections. Once you establish the connection, you can reuse it or not. So if you will decide whether if you want to reuse it or not. If you reuse it, if you want to reuse it, you can use the domains. So what is default domain, what is the custom, how can you customize your domain, we can see in the domains. How to create the custom domain, all those we can see in the domains. Now routing concept, one more routing concept was there, that is a scatter gather router. We have seen in the use case that is a router, one router we configured here, right? So this router is sending the request concurrently, right? So you can think this is scatter gather router which scatters the request and gathers all the responses at a time, right? So in this scatter gather, what we are going to do is, up to now what the topics we have covered, all these topics we are stitching, and we are going to do mid training project, means some mini project kind of thing, means we're going to develop sample mini project as a mid training project with this scatter gather router. Next is JMS module, Java messaging service, means Java messaging service. We have how to configure a JMS connector and how to publish a message to the queues. We will see the queues. How can we publish a message to the queue, how can we consume a message from the queue, how, what connector we use to in order to consume the message from the queue, how can we configure JMS headers, how can we use the selectors, everything we are going to see in the Java messaging service. In for this we have a lab. Coming to this transformers, in the use case we have seen the transformers, right? So in this case we have this transformer. In the transformer we are using the data weave language. This data weave language is responsible for to change the format to change one format to other format. So in the transformers we are going to use the functions, means how we are seeing uh, how can we write data wave expressions with the transformers. And in the data wave expressions, how can we externalize the particular payload to the data wave language file, everything we are going to see. How can we use functions, many things are there in order to discuss in the transformers 1 and 2, and we have multiple labs for this. We can say it's all about labs only. We have two three labs, two topics, complex transformations also there. In this we can see how can we transform the data and with multiple data wave operators, we'll see in the transformer section. Now coming to the error handling errors. So handling errors is common in any programming language, right? So how to handle exceptions, how to handle errors in on error propagate and or error continue scopes, how can we use this specific error types, how can we handle the error at the flow level, how can we map the error mapping, custom error type, everything we are going to see in the error handling section. So functional testing of mule flows using yum unit. This yum unit is not part of any fundamental course. So why I introduce this? The developer in organization, if you are end to end, sometimes you are end up writing test cases for what you have created, right? So if you want to write any functional testing, MuleSoft has a given framework called yum unit. This yum unit, and you can create different test cases for that. So with simple use case, you are in our session we are going to write some test cases that will be very interesting for you guys, and we will be seeing when to mock and what to write the session asset, everything we are going to see different test case the testing strategies and these different test cases we are going to write for the yum unit. Next, we're going to see one more deployment strategy, that is cloud hub deployment. So earlier we have seen that two deployment strategies, that is on premises and hybrid mode of deployment, right? Now we are going to see here in the cloud hub deployment, that is how can we deploy our Mule application onto cloud using the runtime manager, how this iPaaS helps us to deploy this on the cloud hub. Everything we are going to see in this cloud hub mode of deployment. Until now you understand the concept, right? So first you need to understand the API, the power of the API, importance of the API means how the program looks. Without this API LED connectivity and with LED API, with with API LED connectivity and without API LED connectivity, we are going to see this API LED LED connectivity have three layers, that is system layer, process layer, experience layer. In the certification also you'll be getting the question about this, what is the system layer does, what is this process layer, experience layers will be doing. You have a question on this API led connectivity, and I'll be explaining with the picture. You will see the difference between with and without this API led connectivity. Then you will know how importance of this API led connectivity is. You are going to design the API. Next, once it was done, API led connectivity was done, we are going to design an API. Means in Mule application we are going to expose with a REST API. So we are going to design a REST API in the RAML by using the RAML, that is RESTful API modeling language. If you are not aware of a RAML, don't worry, I am going to start from the scratch. And a huge documentation I have given for the RAML also. See the ramen docs. I have given huge documentation, data types, everything, examples, what are resource type you needed, and each and everywhere, wherever the help is required for you guys in the RAML part, I have given a huge documentation. You will not get, trust me, you are if you are able to practice a RAML, you can clear the certification for RAML also. I have given a huge set of the documents for the RAML documents here. So while design coming to this agenda here, designing the API, how can you publish the exchange, how can you share that the public portal, everything you can see here in the designing APIs. Once you are the for this also we are using the we have a lab, we will do in the design center in the AnyPoint platform account. So in managing APIs, once you design the API, how can you uh, deploy onto the cloud hub, how can you create a proxy for that? Otherwise, if you don't have any proxy, if you not using any proxy, how can you do with this API auto discovery, and how can you apply the policies? Means if you have a multiple request, you have a multiple request to your APIs, means uncontrollable request to your API, how can you limit the incoming request to the API by applying the policies? You will see how can you apply the policies, how can you apply the custom policies, everything you are going to see here. So this is all about API. This is all about the agenda. So the topics we are going to cover in our training program. Any sessions? Any questions here? This is what I want to tell you in the demo session. So if you have any queries, you can ask me. Anyone there? I'm done with the demo.
So I have
Any
one
queries?
question. Hello, am I audible?
Hello? Hello? My somehow it's my voice is
Am I audible?
yes, yes, tell me.
Yeah. So can we take one while doing all this stuff, right? So can we take one industry standard example, which you would have developed? Because maybe, once we start this, we will not have, matlab, I myself don't have any requirement or anything knowledgeable project into this mule. So what kind of project comes into the MuleSoft integration, and can we take one example and do this
So
in
I
the
have given
session?
the sample for you, right? I don't know why my voice is
Hello.
Am I audible? Am I audible now?
Yeah, you're audible now.
I don't know why my phone is all of a sudden silenced. One second. Hello. Is it fine now? Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
This is technical issue. I don't know. So I've given this real-time example on working behind the scene the use case. In the use case, that is what behind the scenes. It is not the
Uh,
new application. You are not able to understand.
no, what I'm trying to ask is, one requirement you would have got, you would have got from your organization to develop as a requirement, something like that. I
One
felt this
requirement.
is,
Huh.
yeah, I felt this is little bit basic, maybe on a complex level because, once we are done with the MuleSoft tutorial here, and then once we are done with the certification, if we
Yes.
go ahead and join a org, they might start asking us, to develop some kind of requirement once they give. So what kind of requirement comes, and then what kind of tools to be used over there in the Mule. So something like that.
Those will be nothing but the same we discussed in the sessions that once you complete this training, you will be in a position that you can do anything and develop anything. This is really also. I don't know why suddenly it has changed.
No, actually your voice
You're
is
understanding what I'm saying.
your
It's
voice is
resounding
not
for you. Is it getting resound for you?
no, it's not, it's getting cut in between.
Yeah, I don't know why. You're asking for any real-time example.
I'm basically asking for any requirements which you would have done in your okay, as an end-to-end example.
Means like anything we can data storage, information what we can do. We want to create a field, we will write backend full stack and
Sorry, you're
understand.
not audible.
So I don't know what happened. After the session, it was fine. Could you please join again the same link?
Sure, I can.